Welcome to our channel. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe.
Gravity Falls. Happy Summerween. One warm Summerween night, Dipper and Mabel were excited to go trick-or-treating like they did every year. And this year, they'd wear their best costumes yet. You dudes better be careful out there. It's a night of ghouls and goblins. Not to mention the Summerween Trickster, Seuss said. Seuss, you don't have to worry about us, said Dipper, eager to dress up. Then he ate a piece of candy from his bowl and nearly spit it out. Ugh! What is this stuff? Dipper asked. This is all cheapo loser candy, said Mabel. As Dipper was throwing out the candy, the doorbell rang. When he opened the door, there stood Wendy and Robbie. Hey, what's with the candy? Robbie asked him. You going trick-or-treating? No, trick-or-treating is for babies, said Dipper nervously, trying to impress Wendy. Come to a cool party with us, Wendy told him. Sure, Dipper said. I'll see you at the party. Mabel's friends Candy and Grenda were ready to go trick-or-treating. Just wait until you see Dipper's costume, Mabel told them. But when Dipper showed, he wasn't wearing one. What the hey, bro? Where's your costume? Mabel asked. I can't go trick-or-treating. I'm really sick, Dipper said. The doorbell rang again. This time, Dipper opened the door and told a masked, creepy-looking trick-or-treater to go away. Dipper, where's your Summerween hospitality? Mabel said. I apologize for my brother, she told the spooky trick-or-treater. Silence, the trick-or-treater boomed. If you can collect 500 pieces of candy and bring them to me before the last jack-o'-melon goes out tonight, I will let you live. Then he fled into the night. Oh my gosh, Mabel! Do you know what this means? Dipper said, his eyes widening. I do, said Mabel seriously. Then she smiled. It means you have to come trick-or-treating. Yay! Who was that guy? Asked Candy. It's the legend Seuss told us about, said Dipper, horrified. It's true! The Summerween Trickster is real! You guys are in crazy bonkers trouble, Seuss said when he found out what happened. We'll get 500 pieces of candy and have fun doing it too, even if it takes all night, said Mabel. All night? But I'm sick, remember? Dipper said. What's worse, getting eaten by a horrifying monster or going trick-or-treating with us? Mabel said. Well, said Dipper, giving it thought. The gang first went to Lazy Susan's house. She looked over their costumes with her one good eye, then paused. What are you supposed to be? She asked Dipper. Actually, I'm not dressed up, Dipper said. Oh, I see. She gave each kid one piece of loser candy. You've got to put on your costume, Mabel told Dipper. Back at the Mystery Shack, Dipper reluctantly put on his costume. Introducing, for the first time in public, peanut butter and jelly, announced Mabel. Aww, said Seuss, Candy, and Grenda in unison. Let's just get this over with, said Dipper. Mabel was right. The twins' costumes melted the hearts of everyone in Gravity Falls. They collected loads of candy. Around them, the jack-o'-melon lights began to go out one by one. It's only 8:30 and we've already got enough, Mabel cheered as she counted the candy. While Seuss went to get his truck and the others ran back to the shack, Dipper watched over the candy. He could still join Wendy at the cool party. While Dipper was waiting, he saw Wendy and Robbie driving toward him. He pushed the wheelbarrow full of candy into the bushes, along with his costume, to hide the fact that he had been trick-or-treating. "Dipper," said Wendy, "coming to the party?" "Definitely," he said. "Cool, see you there," Wendy said. Mabel had seen the whole thing. "You're going to a party? You're not sick at all," Mabel cried. "If it wasn't for this crazy monster, you were going to ditch me on our favorite holiday. What happened to the Dipper who used to love Summerween? And where's all the candy?" "I left it behind this bush," said Dipper. But behind the bush was a deep ditch. The candy had fallen into it and was floating in a mucky puddle. That's when the Summerween Trickster appeared. "So, children, where's my candy?" he asked. "We had it all, I swear. It's down there. Somewhere. We can still get it," said Dipper. "I'm afraid it's too late," said the trickster as he grabbed all four of them. Seuss zoomed down the street in his truck and slammed into the trickster. Dipper, Mabel, Candy, and Grenda stood and ran to Seuss overjoyed. "That wasn't like a regular pedestrian, was it?" asked Seuss. "It was the monster," said Mabel with a smile. "You saved us." "I'm glad it's over," Dipper said to Mabel. She ignored him as they piled into the truck and headed to the shack. Dipper had spoken too soon. The trickster came back to life and leaped on top of the truck, trying to attack. The truck skidded out of control and went right through the window of the Summerween Superstore. "We have to hide," said Dipper. "Everyone stay quiet." "Now you're worried about the monster? I thought all you cared about was Wendy," Mabel whispered to Dipper. "You know that's not true," said Dipper. "I just felt like I was getting a little too old to go trick-or-treating." "That's exactly why we need to go trick-or-treating. We're getting older. There's not that many Summerweens left." Mabel looked sadder than he'd ever seen her. "If only we had a disguise of some kind," said Seuss. "Then we could hide from the trickster." It was a lucky thing the Summerween Superstore was filled with costumes that made for good disguises. The kids got dressed so that each time the trickster got close to them, the monster couldn't detect them. The kids had almost made it safely to the door when the trickster spotted them. "Seuss, look out!" his friend shouted. It was too late. The trickster ate Seuss in one giant bite. "Attack!" shouted the gang. They hacked into the monster with their costume weapons. As they did, sticky monster bits landed on top of them. Grenda licked one. "Saltwater taffy?" Grenda said. "Gross!" The Summerween Trickster snatched up the four kids. "You really haven't figured it out yet?" asked the trickster. "Don't you recognize me?" Then he took off his mask. "Look at my face. Look closely." It was made of loser candy, Mabel gasped. "That's right. Didn't you ever wonder what happens to the candy that no one likes?" the trickster asked. "Every year, the children of Gravity Falls throw away all of the rejected candy into the dump. So I seek revenge on the picky children who cast me aside. No one would eat me, but now I'm going to eat you." The trickster opened his mouth. He was about to eat the kids when suddenly he stopped. "What the?" Something in his stomach kicked. The one thing that would eat loser candy. Seuss. The trickster collapsed onto the floor, letting go of the gang. "Wait," the monster moaned with his last breaths. "You actually think I taste good?" he asked Seuss. All I've ever wanted is for someone to say that I was good." The Summerween Trickster smiled and cried joyous tears of candy corn. And that was the end of the Summerween Trickster. When the kids got back to the Mystery Shack, Dipper was surprised to see Wendy. "I didn't see you at the party," she said. I was trick-or-treating," Dipper said proudly, "with my sister." The party was lame anyway. Robbie ate a lollipop stick first and had to go home, she said. Dipper chuckled. He didn't feel bad he had missed it. In fact, he was happy he had. "Oh, man," said Mabel. "We went to every single house and didn't even get to eat any candy." "How's this for candy?" Grunkle Stan held 2 huge bags of it out to Dipper and Mabel, who started to eat it. "You know," said Grunkle Stan, "at the end of the day, Summerween isn't about candy or costumes or even scaring people. It's a day when the whole family can get together in one place and celebrate what really matters. Pure evil." He laughed maniacally. So did everyone else. Then it was silent. "I ate a man alive tonight," said Seuss.
Thank you for watching our videos. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe. Here are some videos we thought you might like.